tell me a little bit about who you are, where you're from, what you're all about, and go.
Hi, I'm Chris Bono. I'm from Jacksonville, Florida, and I've been coaching wrestling for a long time, and I really enjoy what I do, and just thankful that I'm at South Dakota State, where I can help mold young men, and help these guys get their degree and be able to accomplish all their goals athletically as well.
Some of your hobbies.
I don't have a whole bunch of hobbies really. I enjoy watching chasing my kids around, at their sporting events, and I have a dog. I enjoy, being outside with my dog. But other than that, wrestling is my life, and my kids and my family are my life. So really, I would say my hobbies are my kids.
Chris, tell me a little bit about how you got started in wrestling.
I was 5 years old, and I had an older brother who started wrestling, and one day I went to watch practice, and they needed an extra partner. And, I was sitting there doing nothing. They asked me to join, and I jumped out there and joined, and I've been on the mat ever since. That's really how I got started.
I have a couple of, tell me a couple of memorable experiences as a young wrestler in AAU or high school that you can remember.
Well, a lot of my experiences, high school, I was pretty successful, but, one of my most memorable experiences was winning an AAU national title out of Billings, Montana. It was my first national title ever, and it was something my high school coach and I, we traveled the country a lot, and it was something that, I'll never forget being out there. We had a ton of experiences, and I'd never really been out west much at all, and to be able to experience that with him and be out west was just wonderful.
So, who did you look up to as a kid?
Well, my big brother was kind of who I saw what he did, and I tried to always just, stay with him and look up to him and do those things. I never really had an idol in a professional sport or anything like that.
Now, tell me a little bit about some of your college wrestling. Where did you wrestle? Tell me a little bit about your coaches, some of the friendships you developed, and. I wrestled at Iowa State, and Bobby Douglas was my coach. Bobby was somebody that I owe everything to. That's where I got all my coaching philosophies. It's where I got everything from. So he was somebody I looked up to when I was competing, and somebody I get all my notes from, and someone I still keep in touch with today. So. I would have to say, Bobby Douglas really molded me as a wrestler. Now, how did wrestling help prepare you for the future? And give a couple of examples if you can.
I can say when I was out of wrestling, for a couple of years selling medical devices, and being a wrestler really helped me to get through all that kind of stuff. The early hours, everything was easy in the workforce. Dealing with problems, it was very easy. So everything that I learned in wrestling, the hard work, the determination, the stay with it, the tough attitude part, it all really translated into the business side of the world. And that's really what wrestling has done for me.
Describe a couple of memorable moments as a college athlete.
As a college athlete, definitely winning a national title for Iowa State would definitely be tops. And just the experience I had and coming from really not a good wrestler to accomplishing my goals, would be my memorable experiences.
Tell me a little bit about your experience as an international wrestler and wrestling with the world team and in that area.
I've been all over the world a couple times, and I've watched the Olympic Games and wrestled in world championships, and I wouldn't trade any of those experiences for the world for anything. We had some great times. We wrestled great. We won tournaments, and I got to see the world. So really, it was the experience of doing that was just unbelievable.
Can you tell me about your coaching experience? Tell me a little bit about you as a coach now, like your perspective. Now you're from making a transition from a wrestler
to a coach. Tell me a little bit about that. Just like what are some differences and what are some things that what are some new challenges you have?
That no athlete is really something I've had to deal with is really no athlete is like myself. And you can't expect that. That's something that I really they can't do everything you do, or they won't do everything you do, or they're just different. So we that's something I've really had to learn being transitioning from a wrestler to a coach is that and to make sure that I treat each individual as an individual. Our sport's a little different. It is it is a team game, but it's also very, very individualized. And that's something that I had to really separate. It's tough. It's tough to answer this question, but being a coach is just you got to care about each individual athlete and all their needs. You can't just worry about yourself as a so it's tough worrying about 32 guys. Whether someone's girlfriend broke up with them or parents are mad at them or they failed a test. But those are the things you have to do as a coach versus an athlete.
Tell me a little bit about, just touch a little bit about your coaching experience. I know you coached in a couple other places, but just, and then also you being your new experience at South Dakota State. Tell me a little bit about that and kind of.
Yeah, I started off as an assistant coach at Iowa State. I was there for 9 years, and it was the best experience of my life. Worked under Bobby Douglas. Tom Ortiz was an assistant coach. Getting to coach Cal Sanderson, seeing him do something unprecedented was just an unbelievable thing. Then I moved on to Tennessee Chattanooga, where I was an assistant coach for a year and then the head coach for 3. And then I'm back at Iowa State as an assistant for a year, and out here at South Dakota State where I'm starting my first year. So it's out here in South Dakota. It's unbelievable. This is a place I think I was meant to be, and I was just very excited that I got this opportunity and ready to build this program up to restore the tradition.
You talked about the differences as a coach, but what are some of the rewards that you have as a coach, as being a coach?
Well, I can tell you a lot of the rewards, just coming and seeing these kids reach their maximum potential. Some kids are here, some of them can't win a national title. Some of them, so to see them, just get better and meet their maximum potential is something that's very, very rewarding. Also, what's really rewarding is when you get the phone calls from kids in the middle of the night that are having babies now. They're like, Coach, I just want to let you know that my wife just had a baby. When you're getting asked to be in their weddings, that's how you made an impact on one of their lives. To me, that's just very, very rewarding.
A bit about this year's, if you can, this year's team and your coaching staff.
This year's team, we're young. We're young. We have a lot of true freshmen in the lineup, and we're going to go out there and fight. It's very exciting to have a bunch of young guys that we can mold and get ready to build this program up. And we're just real excited about it. As far as the coaching staff goes, I've got Israel Silva on my staff. I coached him at Tennessee Chattanooga, and he was out at Oregon State for the last 3 years. And then I've also got Andrew Sorensen on my staff. He was at Iowa State when I was there for a year. I got to coach him, and that's where he graduated. This is his first go-round as a coach. So it's just, I feel like I've got a great staff. And we've got Chad Lamer. He was a couple-time national champion as a volunteer here at South Dakota State. He was a couple-time national champ. So I'm real excited about this path, and we get along well, and everything is, we're ready to get going.
Talk about the South Dakota State University of Wyoming duel. Tell me a little about this duel and how it got set up at Black Hills State. Just give me a little bit of background on that and what you're excited to see about it.
I don't really know how it got set up, to tell you the truth. I know Mark Branch called me and said, hey, let's wrestle out in Black Hills. And I looked into it. I'm like, it'll save us on travel when we have to go back to Wyoming. So that's great. And then, you know what, we've got a lot of Jackrabbit fans out in that area, number one. And it's nice to take something to them for once instead of having them travel everywhere. And number two, there's some great high school wrestling out that way. So we get a chance to showcase our program and be able to go out there and you know, try to put on a show and, you know, attract some high school wrestlers and some youth wrestlers and get them fired up about Jackrabbit Wrestling.
Anything you'd like to say to the fans or even parents of wrestlers out there, or even the wrestlers directly, like some of the younger wrestlers out there?
You know, I mean, hey, we are building something here in South Dakota State. We want every wrestler from South Dakota State to come to our program, and we're going to recruit. We're going to work hard, and you know, we want every kid in the state that wants to wrestle, wrestling for us and representing South Dakota. We don't want anybody going out of state and doing things that they should be doing right here on our campus here in Brookings.